Greetings everyone, my name is Stefan and welcome back to part 6 of the Ultimate Guide to Stellaris. In this video we'll be covering technology, the most important resource in the game. Now to understand why it's so important, please do go ahead and check out my previous video which is on economy and about the role research plays in the economy. But the short of it is that with research you can get various bonuses such as plus 20% from certain jobs which will significantly increase your output. In fact, research is the primary investment that your empire should be making above all other things, such as alloys and unity. Unity is important because with unity comes traditions, and with traditions come ascension perks. However, the bonuses granted to you from the traditions tree are nowhere as good as the bonuses granted to you from the technology tree. You can easily get a plus 80% to output from all jobs through research, but there's no way you can do the same with unity. And therefore, you should primarily be focusing on building research buildings on your planets instead of Unity ones. In fact, in this example empire, we don't have a single building to produce Unity. The only thing we have producing Unity is our ruler pops. Rulers, and specifically administrators, produce 9 Unity and 16 amenities. This amount of Unity is plenty, especially when you have many planets. The only reason why you would ever go for Unity buildings is either if you're playing for the memes, or if you're playing with a spiritualist empire with access to temples. Temples produce amenities in addition to Unity and are generally worthwhile. However, with most empires, technology is the thing you should be focusing on. And in fact, not only should you be focusing on technology, you should be focusing on specific technologies in the tech tree. The technology selection of the early game is extremely important because it will determine what course your empire takes. If you see technologies early on which give plus 20% to resource production, you should choose those above all else. These economy techs are going to help you build a better economy, and with a better economy, you'll be able to pump out way more research. One thing to watch out for is actually technologies that boost research by 20%, such as quantum theory and similar technologies in the other trees. The thing with these technologies is that early on, you really don't get too much research from actual researchers. Therefore, a 20% increase to just one of the categories of research does not actually impact you too much. This bonus will certainly help you out in the long run, but if you have a better option, go for that instead. Something like an energy grid, which allows you to build a building to boost your energy credit production, is way more valuable than just a very slight amount of research. You also have to remember that early on, technologies will take very long to research, but as time progresses, you will gain more research, and the same technologies will take less time. This means that researching something like this just for the future is not a good investment. And if you're thinking about the long term, you're going to be behind on economy. And if you are behind on economy, you will be behind on everything else. Besides the simple economic techs, there are also some other techs that you should really watch out for. Particularly, you should be watching out for engineering techs such as powered exoskeletons and robotic workers. Powered exoskeletons is a prerequisite to robotic workers, and so you will want to get this as soon as possible. That is because robots are extremely valuable and will allow you to get a lot more production going out of your empire. In fact, building a robot assembly plant on an early colony will double its growth, and on a later, more developed colony, it will be about a 40% increase. That amount of extra growth is certainly worthwhile, and if you can get enough employment positions for your robots, you'll be doing just fine. Remember, if you're going with robotic workers, you want to have some minerals or food jobs available just so that robots can work them. Later on, you will be able to research droids, which can pretty much do anything except for research jobs and ruler jobs, so you're going to want to beeline for that tech as soon as possible. To research droids, you will need to first unlock colonial centralization, which is actually in the society tree. There aren't many techs that require stuff from other tech trees, but droids and synths are one of them. And so to get droids, you'll have to first get this, and only then will you be able to research the droids technology. Besides droids, there is one more thing that you can really make use of in the engineering tree, and this is strikecraft. You'll want to get strikecraft as soon as possible because as of 2.6.1, strikecraft are overpowered, and if you put a couple strikecraft on your station, you will be boosted to very high amounts in terms of fleet power and will actually scare other empires off. Not only will it scare empires off, but it will also be able to defeat other empires. Strikecraft are very strong and will allow you to target down enemy ships with ease. Going for hangar bays as soon as possible is really going to help you out in defense and will allow you to spend less resources on actual defensive structures and fleets. Otherwise, you'll also want to watch out for technologies such as exotic gas refining to be able to manufacture strategic resources. Strategic resources are extremely important, and you will make extensive use of them in the mid-game. With strategic resources, you can upgrade buildings to Tier 2, which will allow you to have more jobs available per building slot. This will be crucial later on as you start to run out of districts to build, and the only way to produce jobs will be through buildings. If you do not go for strategic resource production, you will be suffering, and you'll be suffering pretty hard. Unemployment is the worst scourge on your economy, and so avoiding it at all costs is going to be your #1 priority. Another priority of your empire is going to be to have fleets that are actually quite capable. For that, you'll want to rush down cruisers and put some strikecraft on cruisers. Strikecraft cruisers are extremely powerful and will allow you to defend your empire with ease. Another thing to help you defend your empire with ease is going to be to go for starhold technologies. If you can upgrade your star bases, you will have to spend significantly less. Upgrading star bases is significantly cheaper than building a fleet, and they will also cost way less in upkeep. So getting strong stations is going to be a priority as soon as you get them. Early on, being on the defensive does not make you weak. Instead, it makes you way stronger because you'll be able to spend way more resources on research instead of alloys. With all of these things in mind, you will be able to dominate your enemies technologically, and you'll be way better off than you were before. If you want to learn more on how technology functions and the specifics and mechanics of it, please do go ahead and check out my extensive technology guide, which will be in the top right corner. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one, which is going to be about Unity. Bye bye.